I've met so many amazing people over the years that I otherwise would never have had a chance to meet. Working in the lab, I was alone all day. And here, I interact with my colleagues who are all amazing people, incredible creative atmosphere. That's what really attracted me to WKSU. Hi, I'm Jeff St. Clair. I started at WKSU in the year 2000 after spending 13 years in a chemistry lab. I was a chemist before I turned to radio. And then when WKSU merged with IdeaStream, that was about 3 years ago. So I've been coming to Cleveland for the past 3 years. So that's like, what, 25 years in radio? My job is to write headlines for newscast and to host the afternoon news shows. Starting at noon, I'll do, what are the top stories? What's going on? I have a few minutes to jump in at the top of the hour, and then at the 12:30 mark, and then every half hour until 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So basically, I'm just scouring all the news sites, all the newspapers and TV stations to see what's going on, and then letting our listeners know what's the top story of each day. So my role now is a headline news. I also do features, and for many years I did science reporting, which kind of blended with my chemistry background. My current role, I don't have as much time to do the feature reporting, but I'm also working with the Sound of Ideas team now. So I'm filling in in the morning show, booking guests for that, doing book reviews and interviews for that show as well. I grew up in Talmadge and listening to WKSU. They had this evening show called Fresh Air, and it was not the Fresh Air with Terry Gross. They were experimenting with radio, and one of the pieces on this Fresh Air show was called Now Nordine, with this jazz artist named Ken Nordine.
There was this guy who was a regular guy who lived a regular life. Got up 7:30 every morning, had the same breakfast, kissed the same.
And I don't know if I have yet to hear anything as cool and creative as that show was back in the day. But it showed me the potential of audio for magic. Being on the radio is a very intimate way of communicating. All they hear is your voice, and they create the mental image. They fill in the pictures. You provide the narrative and the information, and that's why radio has survived. It's the oldest broadcast medium, and it's still going strong, hopefully, more than 100 years later, because this is the most intimate medium. It's your voice and their imagination. I got really lucky to get this job at WKSU. They hired me having really no experience, but they saw something, I think, in me, and it's been an amazing adventure, really.